Dire team ban. Vega squadrons turn to ban. Dire team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Dota Pit Season 4 by G2A Game number 2. London Conspiracy going up against Vega after London Conspiracy lost Game 1 to Vega, just having a far superior mid to late game draft, and now to say they are potentially in a three-way tie. This group stage is such a mess. Let's actually just show it before we go into this. So if you want to know about it, here's the grid. So obviously, none of the points have been updated yet because they need to wait until the end of this game. But if London Conspiracy take one game, they can draw it up with Team Spirit, and then it'll be up to Na'Vi and 99%. The last game with this group to be played up directly after this match to decide what's going to happen where. But let's get back to our draft. I'm sorry, I broke my promise. I broke my promise that I would be forever alone tonight. I decided not to be alone. He says he finished with Durka, so he's now with me. It's almost like you're having two dates in one night, Blaze.
You know, you gotta spread the love around. You gotta just give everybody a big Dota hug here. But nah, Na'Vi were able to pull it through really quickly, and they're just dominating right now. So it was a lot of fun, but that was a quickie. Now we're into the whole meat of things. We'll see here. Vega, they're up 1-0, correct?
Correct. I'm actually interested to hear now that Na'Vi are able to dominate because they need to tonight. If they 2-0, no one can touch them now. Originally, if London Conspiracy 2-0 this evening, all hell would break loose. Because then no one can beat them. The second game tonight would have been a dead rubber with Na'Vi versus 99%. But now it actually has some kind of standing.
Well, this should be pretty interesting then. It helps, of course, that Na'Vi will be able to tune in and watch the games, and instead of having to focus on their own WePlay matchup, and then they kind of get to hit the nail on the head, whoever they're going to be facing up against. But already we're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces hit the opener here. London Conspiracy, the Lone Druid Witch Doctor opener. We actually saw that in the previous game for Tornado Rocks, and I pretty much have the same thoughts on it. It's essentially the Witch Doctor is really good against the Lone Druid, with the Maledict against the Bear and the Paralyzing Cast against both of them. So it's quite effective at just dealing with the threat of the Lone Druid. So if you want a Lone Druid to be very effective, picking up the Witch Doctor along with him is probably one of the better ways to go. And they're both relatively push-oriented in the early game. So I love that combination. You're going to be able to pressure towers, you're going to be able to take fights. It brings a lot to the table early on, but they're going to be throwing this Lone Druid into the off lane, getting the Gyrocopter to the safe lane farm here, and just all around really seem to be focusing on their team fight. I mean, yeah, the Lone Druid doesn't control much, but you get one disabling controlling mid, say the Puck, for example, you're going to have a pretty good time in the early fights for London Conspiracy.
I have a feeling too is London Conspiracy just trying to get a really good laning phase out. Because, like, in that last one, like, they tried to run a Beastmaster as an offlane. He didn't really have that much success up against Mag's Lone Druid offlane, which was also in Game 1. It was, like...
5 seconds remaining.
Apples and oranges is the phrase I'm thinking of right now. It was such a difference. The Beastmaster had no impact in the game. And London Conspiracy kept losing control of their laning phase, too. Like, their equilibrium just kept bouncing back over to Mag. I want to see if they're capable of doing that in this game. The fact that we also get Invoker back again for no one. This Invoker was unbelievable in the last game. They combined it up with Ember Spirit a lot. You just basically you get the initiation from what was their Crystal Maiden, so it was the Nova into Frostbites, and then they could Searing Chain and Sunstrike. This was how. Well, this was part of a combination for the first group 3 out of the 4 kills Vega achieved in Game 1. And now you got a VS and a Bane, so the combination's even easier for Vega.
Yeah, and it's just really hard to dodge against it if you're on the side of London Conspiracy there. It's really, like, if you're a support, you have to kind of tiptoe around, make sure you're not getting involved too closely. If you're the offlaner, of course, in that case, the Beastmaster, then you have to be extremely careful that you're not getting too aggressive in your invades. Probably just go for like an Iron Talon and go back to your hard camp, because actually going out into the lane and into the enemy territory to contest pulls, it's not going to work for you. But yeah, I mean, that's a really impressive score right there, 12-1 and 13 on the Invoker, and bringing that momentum into this game. I feel like London Conspiracy, like, they have to do so much work. The Oracle's not bad. Like, obviously he has some answers for at least the magical damage coming out here, but already between Sunstrike and Brainstab, you've got a lot of pure damage, and now with the Drow, you've got plenty of physical too.
I don't know if I believe in this. At least in this game, like, you don't have an offlaner which is going to jump you. 2 supports don't do it. The safe laner definitely doesn't do it.
10 seconds remaining.
And if London Conspiracy were actually thinking about running Baby Knight Zeus again,
5 seconds remaining.
that mid lane, like, Dro's gonna have herself a great time. And with the Aura coupler, Dro and the VS together, Vogue get buffed up. If you run as your offlaner now, like, would you even go for like the 5 range lineup, knowing that you're running the Dro Ranger without any kind of real opposition?
Vega squadrons turn.
I like the idea of the puck here. I mean, the Phoenix would be overkill. Like, the Oracle has a very fast base attack time. Both range supports are good attack range, so I would not go for the Phoenix.
You thinking about puck London Conspiracy, or?
For both, but if you're talking about the 5 range lineup, I would say Vega could benefit from the puck plenty. I mean, you've got the ability to nether swap the Dream Coil to get the long duration stun out. You've got a good setup for the Invoker as well. Like, I actually feel like puck could be a great strength for Vega as well as LC. The problem with LC's puck is that now you've got that Drow Aura on the Invoker, who's already going to have Exort, so the base damage advantage is going to be very far favored on the Radiant side.
Yeah, you're basically going to lose that mid lane just from pure DPS.
Mm-hmm.
God, how do you even battle against that? Like, you kind of have to go... Zeus didn't work in the last game because a lot of things didn't go right for him. Like, the movement from Vega support ended up finding more kills. The Bounty Hunter was a huge pain in the ass for Zeus. And so they banned it out in the second phase of this game. But you're not going to have that same issue this game. What you probably just have the problem is just the pure DPS problem. So that's not as bad.
Yeah. The only other ranged offlaner in the pool is the Enchantress, and I think that would be a terrible pick for Vega. The Gyrocopter, the Witch Doctor, are really good at damaging. Even the Oracle is really good at damaging the Enchantress quite directly, so I don't think that's the pick, but...
You know what I'd love to see in this game?
Yeah.
It's something like a Nyx Assassin.
Huh.
When you run the aggression like this, you're 100% on the money for the puck. When you run an aggressive lineup like this, but you've still got a lot of elements of like global, which the Invoker is able to give you, something like a Nyx Assassin, you want to have a setup basically, and that's where my mind heads.
Yeah.
And up against like a couple of these heroes, like Mana Burn's going to be beautiful up against a hero like an Oracle.
Sure. And it definitely brings a lot to the table there, and that could be very powerful indeed. In this kind of situation, we've seen Godblack draft Undying. I personally have drafted Centaur with the Drow lineups, and it's been pretty effective as well. I like that one for sure, but maybe not as good against the puck. Still, I feel like in general, LC, you know you're going to have the advantage in the mid lane. Already the Invoker has so much going for him, and the Lone Druid doesn't get to pressure bottom very much. So with that, you can kind of take that away. They go for the Nature's Prophet. They go for all 5, and they're going to be relying on mostly the Invoker for the disables. I mean, yeah, there's the Magic Missile, there's the Nightmare, but it seems almost a little too DPS intensive coming out with the Magfurion.
I'm actually perfectly alright with this. And I'm gonna
of course you are, Toby. This is a Drow Nature's Prophet team. Like, what the hell?
It's my dream. It's my dream. It's
Happy Valentine's Day. That's what Vega's saying.
It really is. Jeez. It really is. This is my kind of lineup. What makes this so damn good, however, is the fact that, like,
prepare for battle.
Mag is already gonna have himself a great time in the offlane. Mag is also gonna be one of these guys that I think is gonna have enough confidence that he'll go a phase brute Nature's Prophet. So his physical damage on the offlane is actually going to get really scary for London Conspiracy. The supports of LC are going to have a hard time dealing with this, And they also have a hard time getting the proper gank off early on, because you've always got a whole bunch of trees up for Nature's Prophet, and the 3 bounces from the Paralyzing Cask is not enough. You have to rely on some beautiful RNG to make sure that Nature's Prophet like gets hit by the second bounce. So they're going to get watched, they're going to get harassed, and they're also going to get supported on. So Nature's Prophet TP's in, throws down the Sprout. Hero is like a lone druid on the off lane, better have tangos up his sleeve. Even the puck, if you're caught with your orb down, then you're basically looking to guarantee kill, because you're trapped inside of army of trees, which you will get sunstriked inside of, or cold snapped, or EMP'd, or whatever. This lineup just looks so good from Vega.
Yeah, the global presence is definitely going to be nice. They're going to be able to rotate hard onto lanes and then just obviously push down the towers extremely fast. Drow 6 is probably going to be the highest incentive for them, and then obviously Drow 11 is where you want to start taking down tier 2s, tier 3s, Roshan. So right now, starting with the Precision Aura level 1, let's just check Dendy's damage, right? Or no one's damage, sorry. I just got out of the Na'Vi game, still stuck in it. But yeah, that is a 66 damage evoker. It's like he never got nerfed.
Fine. Fuck. Yeah, dude, sit at range and farm with orb. Pretty much it. He can't do anything more than that. And he doesn't have extra cash up his sleeve either, Baby Knight, because he finds in the extra salve. Already Solo's trying to get up in his face. Now, Baby Knight still hasn't skilled an ability yet. Okay, now he has. So he skills Phase Shift to dodge the physical attacks of no one.
Pull roots and run.
Yeah, and I feel that means the Witch Doctor's contribution to mid lane is suddenly pointless. If there's no actual like counter aggression, then you might as well just walk out of the lane, do a stack or two, and then focus on trying to zone out the Nature's Prophet, because...
Kefka. He wants a Nightmare on him. He wants a Nightmare on him, so then he can just Sunstrike it and get first blood. But right now, Seema actually has to Nightmare himself. The Frost Arrow slows down the bear, giving Seema the range, and now, where's that Sunstrike? Where's that Sunstrike? He's very fired. Come on, no one! Easy. It's easy money.
He's too focused on his lane right now. He's getting some pressure from Solon against him, but I even invoked the Forge Spirit here. There's no Sunstrike coming at all.
No. Focusing 100% on the mid. Which is funny after like what happened in game number 1. Like he was on target every single time. Now no one. There's your Cold Snap and Forge Spirits. He's very happy he invoked both of these up now after Baby Knight gets aggressive on him. You see that return of damage. Even Solon, this is, like, you don't want to be battling the Forge Spirits. Too much armor lost and you'll lose your life. Especially with a lineup which is just buffed in physical damage. I'm interested to see as well from Pasha. I'm wondering in this game if it's even worth, like, going for the 3 Wraithband build.
It might be a little bit much. I mean, you don't have you do have 5 heroes that benefit, of course, from the aura. No, like summons, like the Forge, you can activate the Drow aura, and that'll help them a bit. But I mean, obviously, it's no summon familiars. It's not gonna be to that level of synergy. But yeah, I think in general, like you can just go for treads and still get like a Yasha. I don't think you have to go like 3 Wraithbands and set your progression that far back just to put this much emphasis. I still like the fact that he's going to be maxing the aura early on, because like the Lone Druid's not even going to come back bottom. He's actually still level 1. That's, yeah, such a sad state for Kefka to be in. But yeah, I feel like Posh can still just go for the aura max, but treads, Yasha seems reasonable. Going that hard into Wraithbands, while slot efficient, probably isn't going to be doing him too much. I actually wondered, Toby, since you do pick up enough Drow Ranger, I've theorized about this a little bit.
Yeah. The
experience value of Hand of Midas on Drow, just to get that marksmanship up extremely quickly. Is there any tempo value in that, or is it just a dead slot?
Most of the time, I'm going to have to actually say yes, because the rush into level 11 is worth it. But a lot of the other times I kind of want to say no, because just getting easy agility gain, like through something like Yasha, makes so much more sense when you have a lineup which is capable of pushing. And this lineup is most definitely capable of pushing. So
Certainly.
I just prefer to see like something more like stat items coming out, and a higher level up in your Precision Aura, and you'll get your money anyway. The experience will come with time.
That seems fair. I mean, the one thing I'm looking at here is that you're not really afraid of the Lone Druid for a very long time this game. It's going to be a very slow Lone Druid game. He's going to get Iron Talon. He's going to be just...
He's nothing. The upside for him is that Sentry Ward just timed out, so at least he's got one of the camps here. But the second he comes back to the lane, that Observer Ward's going to watch him perfectly.
Yeah.
Vega's timing in game 1 was also like right on the money when it came to vision. Like, they saw everything that was really happening and were able to rotate because of it. That like very efficient timings.
So at this point, CS advantage very clearly in favor of Vega. We do see that in terms of offlane, Mag hasn't really gotten too much done here. Rushing the phase boots, but still only 5-0. But obviously, he can say more for himself than Kefka can on the lone druid. So that in of itself is balanced, and of course, he's the one who can make the rotation. But speaking of rotations, we've got ourselves the first smoke play, and
they're trying to make some space.
they did see the lone druid with that.
Yeah, they want bottom lane. They knew the Kefka would come down when the creep waves in range of the tower, because it's just too good experience for him. He just can't deny it. So they Nightmare to start with. Now you can Gust, push him back, almost pushing him out of range of the Sunstrike. But it will be the VS to take the first blood.
So that's going to be the easiest tier 1 tower kill of their lives. I don't think the lone druid even really bothers to try to go back and pull the wave back, because you're just going to be killed off so quickly. But we're going to see TP to the tier 2, they'll pop the glyph, and I mean, Solo doesn't have mana to at least get the magic missile out, so it is going to be a lane reset. But again, Kefka, he's got a massive shopping list. Like, even getting up one relevant fighting item is not really going to change his ability to get involved. The bear does not like heavy auto attacks going against him continuously, and that's what Drow specializes in, so it's going to be really tough for the LC to be involved this game.
No. Attacking Seema, he's just sitting on the edge of the Roche pit. There's no support coming down, so Baby Knight will wake from his nightmare, but it still means he'll pick up that bottom room. Also, I just had another, like, a stray thought. With the Hand of Midas coming up in Invoker, you kind of don't want to get it over on the Drow Ranger.
Yeah. The only time I was thinking about it was before you go treads, so you just have that, like, boots only, and then you go hard rush into Midas, and you get it.
That's the ultimate greed.
It is, but like, he'd have it right now. Like, it'd be 6 minutes in, and you'd have it. And as long as your supports are behind you, it wouldn't be bad. I was just thinking because he was free farming so hard.
Yeah. If you ever think you can get away with that, I don't think anyone's going to say no to you. I'm fairly certain Loda will probably even come up and shake your hand saying, yep, thank you for following my guidance. Top lane looking. Oracle's gotten a lot of levels up here. Like, we're only 6 minutes in. Managed to find 4.5, pulling through. The Gyro's getting safe lane farm as well. He's got more CS than the Drow Ranger currently. Obviously, that's going to change once Drow hits level 6, because then all the lanes just get more imbalanced. In fact, I really want to see Solo and Seema walk away from this lane. Like, they cannot leech any of this experience right now. That level 6 for Pasha is just worth too much.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to find it within the next creep, so it's no problem there. But still, I think the Sentry Ward that was just placed up by Solon on the plateau, catching out that Observer that set him up for the first kill, that's really important for LC, and it's actually quite unfortunate for Vega. They don't have as easy of an in, and we do see no one getting jumped on a little bit here, but not enough to commit the Dream Coil and try to follow through for the kill.
That's just too much confidence now for Vega. They see the fact that Witch Doctor's on the mid lane, which means bottom lane is just taken. The level 6 is up, so everyone's got bonus 29 damage.
And they got the bear.
And yep, no way to survive. Yeah, an extra 300 gold, and Lone Druid has to resummon. And I'm wondering if Vega just go from lane to lane. You pick up the Morbid Mask for the Ranger. Okay, so Pasha's not going to complete up what I thought was going to be potentially a mum. Like, a Mask of Madness would be so good in this game. Because there's little to nothing that's going to stop you. But it's just going to go in for, like, casual Morbid Mask. Work it into, like, a Helm of the Dom later on.
Yeah.
Up his Yasha for now.
Oh, we're going to see this stun connect onto Solo. Maybe can get the Entangling Claws here. Yeah, the first hit root, but there's going to be the Dream Coil required just to cancel it out. And that's going to be the first kill for LC with a pretty big commitment, I would say. They're just going to ping out mid. They're like, okay, well, this is now a free tower nearly, unless the Gyrocopter wants to rotate. And even then, they probably feel some confidence here. The one drawback right now for Vega is their Furion is only level 5. Like, the Nature's Prophet hasn't really gotten that much out of the lane either. He's probably better with no items than the Lone Druid. Druid is, but even still has his weakness, vulnerability.
Oh, Baby Knight. That Sunstrike. Oh, Baby Knight. Because he went down, he was able to dodge it. I do. It is kind of funny though when you say like Nature's Prophet doesn't have any items. He's got Phase Boots and he's still dishing out around 130 to 140 damage. Just because he's also got the Drow Aura buff up. 38 points of damage now is being granted to him, and you're adding Wrath of Nature to the field. So if you wanted to, you can throw off Wrath of Nature, have a Nightmare set up, throw out the Sunstrike and Prophet TPs towards the mid. You sprout up Solon, take the kill, take the tower. That's pretty much what I think they're looking at the moment.
Yeah, in the meantime, you get to spread the map, get some good experience for everybody. They get to farm efficiently. That's the important thing. Well, the Oracle has just hit 6. The Witch Doctor is the one that kind of is hurting on London Conspiracy side as far as his own experience and his own development. So, yeah, they'll smoke the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter will be kind of without a home because he knows he's dead the second he goes within cold snap range. But maybe Jalopy and Baby Knight can find something to make up well.
Oh, the Gust. It caught both of them. Smoke broke. That was kind of like the worst timing as well. At least it got one lucky pass. In fact, the Solid didn't hit them with the Wave of Terror. It was using it on the camp instead.
And this is just good reserve play from Vega. They're like, okay, there's no gyro top. We've seen this 100 times. China's been doing it for 6 months. The gyrocopter rotates after level 6. As soon as he goes missing, you have to assume he's going for a play with the call down. So a really good reserve position where there's no way they could have penetrated the Radiant jungle.
Back to farming up the bottom lane. Seema and Solar gonna smoke rotate. Might just be coming up to stop Lone Druid from doing his easy farm. They throw down the Observer Board to watch the Ancients. And they'll see that their camp is gone. Body block from Seema. Like, they're not close enough for it now, so the camp does spawn up. Kefka's not making a play for it. It's up on the top lane where Mag. He's been farming underneath this Data Observer Ward for the past 2 minutes. And really, like, they still haven't found the opportunity. So they get a Nightmare. UP support's coming in. And Vega just wanted to get the hell out of here. Baby Knight rotated so quickly. They're going to try and find Seema. Baby Knight's Dream Call. Again, a TP canceller. Seema's going to make him work for it. But you kill off a Bane. Again, it's a puck rotation. Kind of want something more than that. Kefka's begging for it, but the bear just won't be able to reach his mark in time. And that mid tower is getting destroyed. Force Spirits and the Creep Wave even tank up the Paralyzing Cask. No one needs to stick around for the last attack. He cold snaps over on Jalopy, and the tower, yeah, it actually interferes with his.
Look at this damage!
Dude, it's unbelievable.
203 right-click damage at 12 minutes.
Dude, wait for Alacrity.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. That's just disgusting. We're gonna see the Oracle go down. He was actually putting out a lot of damage directly onto the Nature's Prophet, and the Mag was being forced back with a good combo of both the Fortune's End and the Purifying Flames. But in the end, he's gonna go down to a False Promise in the well. So did the TP? He actually tried to salve himself too. He TP'd back, tried to get Fountain Regen to kick in, tried to get the healing salve to help him out, but just too much damage received.
Maybe nice said. Just use his orb. He'll go for the silence, but Invoker doesn't care. That damage output is just way too much. Meanwhile, up on the top lane, Drow Ranger takes the tower. This is going to be a very brutal and quick end to this game too. Primarily because everything has come online for Vega. I don't see anything from London Conspiracy that can stop their movements.
Man, this is so difficult for London Conspiracy. I mean, that's the understatement of the century, but at this point, like, you're just gonna have to see every play count. You're gonna have to see this puck play without a blink and have to make similar level of initiations without it. Like, how do you get in position for Waning Rift to actually prevent Vega from just tearing people apart? I just don't see it. Like, right now, the puck has to somehow get it in position, catch people off guard. They've got to combo up all their ultimates and just find, like, it still has to be like a 5v3. Like a full 5-on-5, they're still screwed no matter how well they execute.
Yep. It's gonna get worse. Drow's gonna have more distance on the moment. Building in for a Dragonlance by the looks of it.
Yeah, very nice intermediary item. Like, this is the point where she's so strong. But we're gonna see the gank down bottom, and Kefka taken down. He will be able to resummon his maxed out bear when he respawns, but no matter the case, it's just Vega continuing to show that they can dominate pretty much any lane at any time.
try to be optimistic because I've been a huge fan of London Conspiracy. Over the last week, casting, I think I've ended up casting like 5 of their series over just the last week. They've really shown that they can get their timing right, their drafts work really nicely, they've got inventive pick for Baby Knight. But it almost feels like in this series, Vega had Baby Knight's number. They shut him down, they took out a lot of the big heroes that he's been playing in the mid. That's caused a lot of issues for other teams because they just don't know how to play against it more than anything else. And then Vega come in with this kind of draft. Like you see the Drow Ranger, and I always cringe a little bit from the current meta for Drow Ranger because there's so many things that work so well against her.
Oh yeah.
And none of those heroes were picked up at that point of the draft. Because LC picked up so many of their cores already, there wasn't much left to pick. Like you're going to be picking up a puck. Well done. Like you already banned out most of the cores, like the mid heroes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a trap in drafting, man. It's so difficult because if you open up with too many supports, like if your first 3 heroes show 2 supports, all your opponent has to do is pick up escape heroes that kind of slip away. Like Oracle, Witch Doctor don't have hard lockdown, so you get a Weaver or a Faceless Void, a Morphling, something that can just go for those evasive plays and counteract the fact that you don't control. And then in this case, too many cores, easy opening.
It's just River will keep him alive. False Promise can do the work. Deny may keep a Jalopy out of the fight, but now you see Pasha with his range. He's doing 260 damage a pop. When the VS is near him, a level 2 aura. They could just go. Nothing stops them. Like, we're 16 minutes in. The cooldown will definitely slow them down. But they could just wait for the next creep wave. Lone Druid doesn't have enough. He can't join the fight. Kefka's still trying to go in for this Radiance build, but it's just not going to be enough.
I mean, like, no matter what he had at this point in time, his net worth is just so low, and the Midas obviously isn't doing any favors, but even if you built up a Maelstrom, the bear would die the second it gets into the fight, so Vega still have the dominance, and now they have the ultimates.
They try and hold the line. Get 3 towers gone, the flat count at least is helping to mop up the creep wave, the Cold Snap and the Forge Spirit's making Jarakup to slide the living hell. The Forge Spirit's the tree is trying to focus on the racks and the swap perfectly on Baby Knight, so take a bite of your Dream Call. Stolen almost dies. 3 attacks is all it takes from the Drow Ranger to kill him. The buyback comes out from the puck. They're going to look for the Dream Call, try and fight this, but Zima, he's just rolling through the lineup, finds the kill himself, being triple available as well, being chased down by the Lone Druid. That's a big call down. No one's having a hard time, but the Sun Strikes, it kills off Kefka. You lose your Drow Ranger, so a big part of the damage aura is now gone. The Aegis Immortal has been triggered, the Gyrocopter, you may still be powerful enough for this. Fortune's End, okay, yeah they are. No one's gonna go down. And once again we see this play. Mag is trying to man mode this out. Like, I know you've got confidence, Vega, but you did this in game number 1, where you gave up an almost, what I think it was 6.5k advantage at that point. To London Conspiracy because you dove underneath tier 2 towers. In this case their advantage is a lot higher, so it's not as bad. But still.
End of the day, it's not even that bad for Vega Squadron. I mean, obviously they didn't get the melee ranks, and LC definitely got some of the major gold influxes that they were looking for with all the comeback gold. But like the fact is, with Furion going back in with that mechanism, he doesn't. Not only does he not die to the Death Ward, but they ended up setting up the kill on both the Witch Doctor and the Oracle and cleaning up the tail end of that, which means a lot of heroes died twice in that fight. There were 2 buybacks, one on the Witch Doctor, one on the Puck. Witch Doctor definitely died the second time, and I mean, they're just desperate right now. You look at Solon's inventory. This guy is like buying 4 statue wards, couple of observers. Just other than that, he's a boots, wand, Witch Doctor. Like he just has absolutely nothing. And LC, yeah, they're gonna get the blink on the Puck eventually, but right now, Baby Knight with that buyback is still set back even further. And I just feel like they haven't. Yes, there's a lot of gold. The metrics show that London Conspiracy are in a better position than they just were, especially since they were fighting against an Aegis, but it actually doesn't change the state of the game. Right now, LC are still a couple thousand gold away from the comeback train.
I don't even know if it's 1,000 gold away. Like, they need to remove damage from Vega.
Yeah.
This is the reason why like Blitz was laughing his ass because I did this during the D2CL LAN finals. I sit there, I just start adding up. Like what do all the auras give you? Remember like those old aura strats when everything was like you had like the Lunas, the Beastmasters, the VSs. Like you put all these things together, and then you start adding it's plus game. Now you think about it now, you got a Vladimir's aura, which just got picked up by Solo, flying out in the courier. You've got the Vengeance aura, so the 28 bonus damage coming out from the VS. You then add in the Dro bonus range damage, which is at 38%. So in total, that gives you 58 points of damage for every ranged hero. So then you got to times 58 by 5. And this is how much bonus damage just one aura is giving you. You add all of this up, and you're probably looking at a bonus like 600 damage coming just from the auras of Vega.
It really is intense. It's very difficult. Obviously, the best option they have is to try to gun down the Drow Ranger as quickly as possible. But without the Blink Dagger on Baby Knight just yet, he's 200 off. That prospect seems very limited. So, at least for now, Vega, so they can just kind of keep poking at the barracks, not really commit anything. Nice little Midas action, but yeah, like the Bear, for example, is in significant danger. If they try to commit into this choke point, I'm not sure they win.
Rocket's gonna fly, so I'm gonna get rid of that. No, they don't. All Vega really want to do right now is get Pasha close enough that he can start chipping away at the melee racks. The Dragonlance's range is so big that London Conspiracy have a hard time initiating on him. Blink is there from the puck, and LC will smoke up to try and use it. In fact, they're actually going to smoke up and loop around. Now, Pasha will get greedy here. He's farming up the pull creep. Leaves the Manda Illusions behind to actually farm. Oh, and he throws one up. Okay, yeah, goodbye to your smoke gank. So unfortunate for LC.
Most definitely. Jalafi just losing the smoke at the appropriate time, and they can't get anything out of it. But they did get 2 major item pickups, and they didn't lose the melee racks. That's the 2 things I want to take away from that, is that Biverd now does have the mechanism, which obviously the False Promise has a very direct synergy with, and then the Blink Dagger on the puck is essential for them to get involved in these fights and find their opening. So just those 2 combined together. Hell, the Inner Shadows. Stolen gets an item. Like he has just a 100% increase in his items at this point in time.
Sorry,
just
with
because
the way you're talking about this, I've almost just got to go.
It's small victories, man.
So this seems like, so congratulations, take home the board game of Wheel of Fortune, because you weren't capable of winning the showcase.
It's true, man. I mean, when Mag is double damage hitting for 350, all these things seem very marginal. But I mean, if there's any way back, if the next fight has any chance of bringing it together, it's going to be on the back of these item pickups. So the puck has to do some major work, get that blink involved.
I love he keeps getting yes. They're sending a huge army of treants, and every single time he turns on flat cannon, everything's gone. Vega don't want to make the same mistake again. Play it safe, Roshan 1 minute, yeah, all that jazz.
Aegis and Cheese, obviously going to be quite valuable there. Keep the Invoker and the Drow in play for a lot longer, but by that point, we're going to at least see the Radiance, and that does give Kefka a few options as far as pushing things away, side lanes and such, and then in the fight itself, the mischance is going to be very frustrating for Vega.
We need to give Kefka that lane presence. He doesn't know the Radiance recipe yet, it's just the relic at the moment.
Yep.
I say LC, like, if we did actually have third Roshan, maybe it'd be a little bit better for them if they could try and steal it. We're only up to number 2 at the moment, so we're only gonna have the Aegis.
No, my mindset is LC are working towards the ability to hold the high ground, but I don't think they're ever gonna be able to contest Roche, not Roche 3. Maybe the next one, but this one is definitely going to be in the hands of Vega, even with the longer spawn of 2.5 minutes.
What does LC do? Do they stay inside their base? Like, they've already tried to smoke gank up a couple of times. They've still got one over on the Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, I think they use sentry wards to create safe zones. I'm surprised they don't actually have one on this plateau, but Kefka seems confident enough that there's nothing over there, so he uses just the 2 camps that he can access, and then of course the creep waves, which are continuously pushing in, and they get there slow and steady. We are going to see this with the next 10-second Midas transmute, that he's going to get that, assuming they don't try to blow up the bear right now.
Decent chunk off it.
He's fine. Radiant's up. Alright, Kefka is actually a hero now. So that's +1 to LC's lineup. They're suddenly playing 5 versus 5 Dota, the strongest you can
Dire's middle barracks
hope for.
are under attack.
They also get a little lucky for the fact that Vega have to wait so long for Roshan. Was an opportunity there with no one, getting a little close. Got Blink Dagger and BTs. Even the drum charge will just help him out run LC. Normally that's not much of a problem for an Invoker when he's got high points up in Wex, but he's only got 2 points in Wex at the moment.
This Gyrocopter is going an extremely defensive build, considering he is with a team lineup of Witch Doctor, Oracle. Like, these heroes are designed to try to keep him up as long as possible, and he's just like, okay, let's just build every tank item in the book, Manta BKB here. And I kind of feel like...
He's paper against the Lamp of Vega, though.
Yes, but he's going to be paper either way in my mind. BKB's not going to change that. I feel like you just rely on the Oracle and you go for some damage. Try to get at least all your flak out with some heavy hits, and if focusing the bear, then you get to do that much more.
No one's now just resigned himself to using his abilities to farm up creep waves.
No, Jalopy is not going to be a durable hero that can withstand a few seconds of punishment in the fight until he has a butterfly, and that's obviously going to take a lot of time.
Asha, if he can take one more camp, he'll have a BKB for the next engagement. Which will make life even harder for LC. Because then there's only, what, one thing that really controls him? And that's Entangle?
Yeah, and he's got the Manta if he wants to save it for that, so it's like, no matter what, he's going to be able to stay on target.
Yep. Maybe when you get the Aghanim Scepter over on Baby Knight, that'll be a play. And that is what he's building into, and they just smoked up underneath the obs. It's heartbreaking, but Roshan is up. This is an option. They have to be quick about this. The Tornado is still sitting inside the pit. That one belongs to LC. Vega's moving over. They smoke up. They send a Force Spirit, Wave of Terror in. Both teams are very much aware of what was happening inside the Roche pit. And Jalopy, he's going to start this. He's got a double damager into this. Is the perfect time for a Gyrocopter to have such a thing. The damage output's going to be beautiful during this fight. But with the Tornado pickup, EMP, Deafening Blast, as well as Meteorite, Soul is just going to burn out, and they get a 3-man hit out. Even with the Dream Cooldown, the cooldown from the Gyrocopter, the Black Turn turns on, he only takes one. They swapped him down. The Fortunes and will not protect this Gyrocopter. Pasha, well, he knows Jalopy's going to pop, so he just needs to give him some space. There she goes. And Viva will also die. It's a full team wipe. And without that Roshan, London Conspiracy may be hovering the fingers over a GG button at the moment. Vega have such a commanding position.
We'll just see 2 heroes already in the base. They're like, yep, you guys finish Roche, no problem. And we'll go ahead and do the dirty work here on the front line. That's going to be the mid lane completely destroyed. Jalopy, I don't know, like, essentially he has to use the False Promise as a shallow grave. He has to use it as just an extra extension of his lifeline and just try to do what he can in the meantime, but the damage build is lacking, and it just seemed like while he was the one that survived longest in the fight, it didn't seem to make a lick of difference. He just couldn't put out what he needed to at this stage.
Fast TP's going up to the top, but on bottom lane, Pasha and Solar. So say goodbye to the last tier 3 tower of LC. And then they just keep the split push going. No one jumps in through the top. With Forge Spirits, that range track just can't survive, and then they go back in through bottom lane. Oh, this is painful.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
They're being poked and prodded on all sides.
Yeah, they're being jerked left and right, and of course the Nietzsche Prophet can join either side of the battle, and that's going to make it impossible for LC to actually commit outside the base, so they just have to kind of wait and say, hey, get off the barracks. But in the end, they lose out not only mid, but one on top, and Vega, of course, have a nice window of time to work with here as the Drow has her Aegis, and yeah, that's not going away anytime soon. She's probably going to look for the butterfly to finish off. Do you think you could go for like a Satanic here and just so that you're unkillable, or do you just go for the butterfly because it's the better pickup overall?
I want to say... that is what I'd go for. At this point of the game, I prefer to see a satanic, just because it's the way you ensure you stay alive to end the game. The butterfly is nice, but you're not really worried about the physical DPS coming out from LC. You're not, again, it's not going to be King Bar being picked up by the Gyrocopter, but it really doesn't matter, and the Dragonlance is even more useful at this point of the game, because you're just doing this low to high ground siege play.
Warriors of the wood.
Yeah, and they're just poking and prodding at all sides now. The melee racks is definitely the next on their mark. They just killed the bear, so they know that that's going to be when it gets... Oh, actually, still... They know they actually almost killed the bear, sorry.
Comes the Deathstick Blast, the Meteorite, Jalopy with the Brain Sap. He almost dies to that as well. Down to 170 live. Seema, oh, he won't get his TP out. Jaro does get a little bit of a revenge. Barely survived.
Looks like they're a little bit uncoordinated here, trying to just go hard commitment and doing individual plays, but the Bane is not the highest risk. As long as they don't lose the Invoker, they can still keep up the siege and still control kind of where LC have to position themselves. But I think Fiverr was really good about holding his ultimate. He's got that for the next fight, which presumably is up top.
At this point, I almost actually wish the Pasha would sell the... I don't want him to sell the Molten Mask, but when the Aegis Immortal time's out, I actually kind of hope that he'd pick up a Monkey King bar so he doesn't have that missed chance underneath the Radiance.
It's definitely annoying. It's not the highest percentage, but it definitely comes into play.
Just something. I think he can just go full glass cannon at this point of the game. Bottom melee Rex is finally brought down. The cast onto the Witch Doctor, so they're really not that far off. 1 melee Rex from Megas. And then LC's gonna have a hard time or impossible time defending. EMP Tornado, Sunstrike, and say goodbye to your Oracle. He doesn't survive for long. And Solo's on the chase. He's almost ranged the Magic Missile, and now in fact he most definitely is. It's a kill for him. He'll lose Kefka on the top lane, and there it is. Finally, the GG call will come out. Baby Knight's the sole survivor, and he'll go down as well, giving the last part triple kill to no one. So Vega have done everything they possibly could to give themselves a chance to qualify. This will be their last game for the Dota Pit Online Qualifier. With the group stage, only one team qualifies. One team will qualify for the LAN finals. And right now, draw. This will update in just a moment, but Vega with that victory, they go to 10 points. They'll level themselves up with Team Spirit. Under Conspiracy will remain on